Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound, finally back home after a very, very fun and very successful Pittsburgh A&A World's Fair Money Show. It ended yesterday, and it was very busy. It was awesome. It was the most incredible experience of my life. And you guys know I've been doing this for a while. I haven't been to a big ass show like that in in a long time, almost 2 decades. And even the shows back in like the mid 2000s or whatever. Those days they kind of pale in comparison to how it is right now because we've truly seen just a huge market shift and a dynamic to it. That is, we're beginning to see the demographic get younger. I've never seen more younger folks around the 16 to 23-year-old range spend ridiculous amounts of money that I saw at the show. But I'll do a separate video on that later in the week. As kind of like a state of the economy, it's insane. It's wild and crazy, and also incredibly exciting. All right, so yeah, it was fun. Fancy serial number report on a Sunday morning. Yeah, I know. It's time to get caught up on some of the reports. So let me tell you a little bit about the next 24 hours. So it's Sunday morning. I literally just woke up, threw on a decent looking shirt, already had a plate of breakfast. Thank you to my wife, by the way. But also, we're also going to be doing the pocket change market report on a Sunday afternoon. The Monday market report will drop tomorrow morning on a Monday, which is fine. It's kind of like normalcy there. But yeah, we're going to be slamming some serious vids on you guys. And just to show you, man, this fancy serial number collecting market is crazy right now. I wanted to share real quick a piece I did pick up at the ANA right here. 1981 A $1 bill, low serial number 122. And check that out. He even has Miss Catherine Ortega, who was the treasurer of the United States, on there. It's a PCGS banknote 65 PPQ as well. Really beautiful note that's going to go in the collection. Again, there's folks like myself that buy these things, so there is certainly a lot of not because I bought it, but there's certainly a lot of general interest in this, and guys like Sam from Kingdom Currency and a whole host of other creators that are doing videos specifically on paper money market has put a lot more awareness out there. And then reports like this, due to popular demand, I think it was Sam that said, "Hey, when are you gonna do, kind of like a dedicated weekly report, the same way that I do a Monday market for graded coins, and also the PCMR for varieties and errors that can be found in change." I'm like, well, that's been kind of in the works, and then now it's a reality. All right, so we've been doing this for approximately, I think, like 3 months now, and you guys have loved it. So we're gonna continue it on. So what we normally do in these reports is to kind of chronicle the events of sales of some of these notes, talk a little bit about them, so that way you guys are aware of what to look for. And also another thing is the notes that I had chosen specifically for the video are ungraded examples. Okay, you find them in change or in your wallet, and then you go ahead and sell them the way they are. So you're gonna get kind of like some of the best condition looking notes, and then you're gonna get some that look quite a bit circulated. All right, and that's kind of the big deal with these reports. Sorry, I'm gonna be chugging along some coffee as we go, so you might get a brief pause in there. But in any event, I'm happy to kick things off here with this note here. This is a Tombstone $1 bill. Why it's called that is generally it's got two 4-digit years on there. All right, so it's a full date. Now this one's a little bit backwards. It starts out with 1991 and then 1959. So it reads just like you would normally see on the note. So four digits, four digits. Now, normally the earlier date would lead off the serial number and then ends off on a date that is much later. All right, so which indicates its namesake tombstone to signify maybe someone that was born in '59 and passed away in '91. And people do collect those, either for historical reasons or possibly maybe a loved one lived at that time period. Exactly. But these things, man, have been selling really well. We've seen average sales right here around this $30 mark. I haven't seen them really too much lower than that or too much higher than that. $30 seems to be the kind of like sweet spot for these tombstones. What I like most is this seller name. Summer the Cockapoo is the name of this um, seller. And when we look at the note, yeah, I mean, it's not brand new, crackling fresh from a strap, like it was printed yesterday, but this one has seen a little bit of action. So, to give you guys a little perspective, it really condition. A lot of people talk about condition as being kind of like one of the forerunners of why a note sells for a lot of money. But there are some instances where, as long as the condition is just average and, the note isn't torn in half or it's not stained like, it was dipped in Coca Cola yesterday, these are things that people are willing to overlook and then pay whatever the fair market value is for the note. So, great way to kick things off here. By the way, it's a 2013 series note. The next one that we have here, we actually have a little bit of a run of low serial numbers that all kind of sold, together. It might be all from Jamie, the seller here. But we have a 2017 $1 bill with a low serial number of 974. This one ended up selling for $33.53 with 13 bits. All right, so, and you're also going to find that throughout this report that a lot of folks have been selling these organically just by putting them up as like 5 or 7 day bids, auction formats is why I really wanted to say. Yeah, these Sunday mornings can be a little rough, but especially after a wild and crazy Saturday, which I did not have. We just came in on our flight yesterday, and I was out. I slept 12 hours. So, anyways, before I digress too much further, anything with I would say these days four leading zeros and a four-digit serial number to cap things off. These days in today's market is considered low serial. The old purist in me and a lot of the old school fancy serial number collectors has always been five leading zeros and then a three-digit serial. So 999 and under is what they consider low. Although different market, and you're going to see that even four-digit serials have been selling very robustly. So this one right here, 974. Note looks to be in pretty good shape. I don't see much. No, well, it's got a few little waves in there, like it's been sitting in a wallet. Uh, no real strong centerfold. A little bit of a corner wave here, which might be a little bit of a bend, but overall, pretty nice looking note. And yeah, I mean, this thing sold what 545 last night, so pretty even sale there. Just want to make sure that I'm not skipping over notes here. All right, so here's another low serial number, this time on a $10 bill. 2004A, this time a $66 sale, very solid. 18 bids here. In spite of its a little bit higher denomination, still a pretty good sale. The question is, would you throw these away, at a much higher denomination? Probably not. I would say even on $100 bill, I would save this. It would probably sell for maybe 130 to 150 bucks with that serial number, and provided that the note looks as good as this Hamilton 10 right here, I think you guys would be in pretty good shape when you go to resell it. So, photography wise, as you guys know, it doesn't take a whole lot of work to image these. You just got to make sure that the lens on your smartphone camera is clean. One of those things that I always tell people is if you don't do that, this thing is going to look like a ghostly white with a white halo around the image of whatever it is you're taking. And it's not a good look. So make sure you're cleaning those lenses. Again, really good sale here. $66 is what you can get. Nice little magic trick, turning a 10 into $60. Very nice one here. We have a $5 bill. This time on a 2006 Series 5. Serial number 327, like the Magnum. $71 sale. 10 bids. Really, really solid sale. More so than the Hamilton. And the $10 bill, the more modern $10 colorized bills are unattractive to collectors because people just don't like yellow, you know. So, um, this is a very popular color scheme with the purplish hue in the background, and Lincoln. There's no better figure personality in the presidency than that gentleman there. But yeah, a really good looking note. Again, nothing too crazy condition wise. That would pull this one away from being worth anything less than what it sold for here in the last 24 hours. And by the way, all the sales are from the last day or two. All right, so we're already seeing some of the earliest recorded sales just from yesterday at 6 o'clock. The first note that we looked at, I believe, was from like 4 o'clock. So not even 12 hours ago, right? It's the 13th today, right? Yeah, it's the 13th. So, yeah, it used to be I had to go through like 5, 6 days worth of sales activity to fill up a fancy serial number report, and here we are. All it takes is 12 hours. So, yeah, that's pretty phenomenal. Just the way the market is kind of trending on these. So here's one of those examples where the market didn't quite uh, do this one a favors because of its high denomination on this $20 bill. It's a $20 bill. The higher you go in denomination, the less net profit you'll make. All right. Now, if this was on a dollar bill, the note will probably end up selling for as much, if not more, because you have George Washington on the note, and it's the small head size type design, which people love today. Serial number 59592 sold for $42.21, so just over double face. 13 bids on this one, and again, another decent looking note here. With some circulation wear, you can see a corner fold, a bunch of little waves, and a center fold in there. But again, don't toss these away. They're worth a lot more than face value. Next one that we have here. Here's where things are a little bit crazy because we looked at a number of pretty nice low serial number notes, and now here we are to a six in a row once and a 7.5. Sold for $61, ladies and gentlemen. 9 bids. Ones, sevens, and eights, probably zeros, are all of the most popular numbers in fancy serial numbers today. So this was more than a little shock because it used to be that 7 in a row ones used to sell for about $60, and then now we're talking about six of a kind or six in a row selling for that much now. I think this is one of the more desired number types in numerology and things like that. So $61, 9 bids. Again, pretty nice looking note. I mean, it looks crackling fresh from these images, like they came out of a BEP strap. But you can imagine that if you came across a full strap of this particular serial number where it leads off with 6 1s, then you're gonna have a strap that's worth quite a bit. I mean, if you play off the averages and let's say the notes are worth $50 a piece times 100, that's $5,000. Again, it's all circumstantial. You have to be in the right place, right time, to find these particular BEP straps. But when you do, man, it's the ultimate rush. It's free money in your pocket when you do come across them. Here is what they call a true binary. So true binaries are zeros and ones. This one has 3 1s and a couple zeros in there. $77.50, 27 bids. Again, this is a very popular, well collected fancy Note is not in the best of shape. It does have some sort of like red ink stamp deal going on there. Folds for days. You can see them all over the place. But really good sale. Sold by one of the regular fancy serial number sellers, Ronald J.H. $77. Well done. Here's another one here, which is a seven of a kind sevens on this $1 bill. It's a 2009 series, $53.99 with 8 bids. The number needs no introduction, folks. Sevens are the choice for fancy serial number collecting. Sevens and eights because they're lucky in our culture and also abroad. But yeah, I mean the note it looks like nothing fancy. Not nothing like its serial number. It does have a little bit of a tear here on in the margins. So if you're accepting of that, then 53, $54 is where we're at on that one. Next one that we have here. Okay, so I put this one here for a reason. All right, it's a birthday note. It's oriented a little bit differently, than what the traditional is. $29.99 was the sale price, and you're going to see that traditional Western world orientation of birthday notes starts out with month, day, and then year. All right, this one is day, month, and then year, and it's always by 2 digits, right? So this one reads June 21st, 1950. So these are popularly collected as birthday present notes, is what I like to call them. And I mean, it has to be the right date to someone. A lot of these notes end up just sitting in eBay, but I call them more supplemental listings than anything else. These are not going to be the type of notes that you would ever sell as regular auction format style pieces because you're not going to get anything for them. It's when someone comes across it and they're looking specifically for that date where it's going to be worth something to them. All right, so it's not going to be everyone. This is a very niche type of fancy serial number collecting. But when you do come across them and they're on ones and twos, pull them out. Throw them up for $25, $30, and then just sit on them. They might sit there for a year, folks, but someone will discover it if it's a meaningful date to them. All right, so $30, that's a really good sale. Here we have another six of a kind ones, and Ronald J.H. So it's looking like that Ronald had found the bank strap with the notes that begin in six ones. Wow. $64 was the sale price, 18 bids on that one. And again, crackling fresh piece right here, straight from the BEP strap. As you can see, very nice, well looking note. Great sale too. We have another low fancy. This one was scooped up. Wow, quite a bargain too. $33.99. Buy it now. Serial number 134 on this 2013 $1 bill, as you can see right there. Very well circulated, but a nice little grab right out of circulation, folks. Can you imagine your restaurateur or your cashier handing this thing back to you? And you're like, wow, jackpot! It just paid for my meal. There you go, easy money. Here's a $50 bill. Really good one here. Again, we could dog on high denomination notes all we want, but man, if it's the right serial number, you could really take it home to the house. $162.50, 3 bids, $50 bill. One of my favorite designs with the flag and the stars and stuff in the background on Mr. Grant here. Almost solid ones. So we have 7 in a row ones on this one. And the note, yeah, admittedly, has been through a few hands. Someone had passed up the spoils of this particular piece with a $162 sale. So, again, you just never know. We have our very first radar on the list. This might be the only one. I might have one other one on here, but radars or palindromes are traditionally referred to as the the bottom end of the pool of fancies because there's so many more of them that you can find in a full run. So this one reads 30722703, and it sold for $23.63 off of 7 bids. $1 bill. Ideally, you want to find these on ones. You don't want to find these on 20s and 50s and all that. You're just not going to get paid what you need to make money off of there. There you go. Very well circulated piece. Nice sale. Here's a binary, a non-traditional binary is what I call it, with threes and ones, and it's on a 2017 A5. $34.44 with 28 bids. This one again exhibiting some circulation wear. Not at all a beauty queen, but it works. Ronald coming back in with another 6 in a row ones. This time, this one sold for $80, so the prices they're roller coastery. 22 bids. Very nice fresh note here. Congrats, Ronald, for finding those. And here's another binary. This time ones and eights. I'm surprised that this one didn't sell for more than what it should have. Six of a kind aces. Don't use the word aces. We're not playing poker here. Use the number 1 or type it out. ONE, 1. Because that's going to be a traditional search term in here. I'm not knocking on the guy other than for that. All right. $29.89 on this $2 bill, 20 bids. Phenomenal looking note. Six of a kind ones, binaries, ones and eights. However you want to push and promote this one, it's all good. Crackling fresh, BU example, or crisp uncirculated. Here's another binary. Sixes and eights. Someone picked this one up. Buy it now, $20. Very well circulated piece. No fanfare here, but nice serial number. Sixes aren't that popular, but don't toss it away because they're still worth money. Another true binary on this $10 bill, 2013, $39.88. 10 bids. This one is pretty well circulated, as you can see. Nice note, nice serial number, and yeah, good job. Here's another binary, but you could also say that this is a low serial number as well. So 6 zeros and a couple of fives in there. This one is a binary, low serial number, whatever. $28.98, 17 bids. Fancy serial number, $1 bill, binary, radar, 6 of a kind, 4 leading 0. I'd probably do low serial number instead of leading zeros in there. Probably would have been a little bit better terminology for the search engine. So, yeah, pretty cool looking note. At first glance, I thought it was crackling fresh, but no, it's circulated. Very nice note there, nice serial number. Here's another one here. Zeros and threes, not what I would consider a low serial number. $28 sale. 11 bids. There you go. Nice. Again, more circulation wear, but that doesn't kill the value. So feel free to sell these when you get them. Interesting one here. This is, it's 4 in a row sixes. Okay, the seller even mentions Devil's Note or something like that. I don't know what the $20 is. I think that's just the sale price, which is a buy it now. But it's I call these hybrids because it's got solids in the first 4 numbers and the last 4 is just some other number. That's remotely interesting. In this case, 5,000. So, if you pay attention to some of the hybrids out there, you could do really well. At one point, I sold a note. I believe it was an old style $5 bill, like a 1963 series. This was probably 5 years ago. But it read 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So it was 5 in a row fives, but also had a short ladder in the beginning. I ended up selling that one back then for like 35 bucks or something. It was a really good sale. But the hybrids, if they're attractive enough to the eye visually, like this one is here, then it'll command a little bit more money than you would think. Another $20 bill. Okay, well, I'm gonna give this one a little bit of props. It's sold for enough money to where the seller probably, and they did charge for shipping. All right, so they probably made about 15 bucks on this one, which is a really respectable net profit gain on this one. But it's a six in a row or six of a kind sixes. It really doesn't matter what the two bookend numbers are. This one's 4 and 7, so it'd be different if it was like double fours or two sevens. One from one on the end. That would make this a super radar. It would make it an incredibly wild, expensive note. But you can see this one here. They even put the My Currency Collection rating index. It's extremely cool, and I agree, it's extremely cool. I don't use this, but it's a good tool. And you can effectively leverage the My Currency Collection website, like this person did here, to get a really good sale. So because it's so hard to sell what some people consider marginally fancy serial numbers for anything above face value on a much higher denomination note. So this is it's a trinary too. They also put that keyword in there, which does help. We only have a few more notes, ladies and gentlemen. This one's awesome. I love this one. So binary radar, 4 zeros, 4 sevens, and it's perfect. This is a great looking note. $102.50, 27 bids. Admittedly, it's an older series, 69D, but you could have a similar result, a very comparable sale for anything, even in a newer note. Even 2021 with the same serial number, very attractive. The only thing that would make it even more attractive, if say the district number was a 7, or if it had matching prefix and serial or prefix and suffix letters, like if it was like double A or double C, that would be awesome. That would just kind of like be a feather in the cap for the eye appeal on that note. $20 bill. This is what they call a super repeater. So it's the number 56 repeated over 4 times. Very well collected serial number pattern. And 2013 20. Not the greatest looking note. It's got some Teller stamping ink staining here on the top left, which is quite common on these. So, yeah, $77 sale, 8 bids. Very strong money there. We have another binary, 2s and 5s. We actually have 6 of a kind 2s. All right, $25. All right, so 2s aren't the most popular numbers, but this one's certainly worth a little bit of kudos on a note that looks like toilet paper at this point. Good way to just sell it and get rid of it and make yourself a little bit of money in the process. Another cool one here. We're gonna check and see how much this one actually sold for. It was a best offer option on this 2017 10. That essentially reads 1999 twice. So it's a repeater. It's a binary repeater. I guess you could consider it a date. It could be a tombstone. As much as I don't really want to throw that out there, as being that, because it could be, you know. But it's a lot of things to a lot of people. So I brought up 130 point. We're just simply going to copy and paste the listing title into here. 130point.com. Normally it's used for sports cards, but in this particular instance, you could use it for anything with a best offer price. And we'll find out. Check, see how much this one sold for, which ended up being any day now, $160, which is a really, really knockout sale for that note, for a binary repeater. And then one more that we'll have to check the price on is going to be the 7 in a row 5s on this $1 bill. Very well loved looking piece, by the way. 2017A, fantastic photography all across the board in today's fancy serial number report. I couldn't be happier to see that. Well, I take that back, except for that shot there, a little bit out of focus. And that one too. But you could just do that shot and not have to do close-ups on them because these things are so photogenic. They're easy to take pictures of, and they look really good. So let's go ahead and see how much this particular piece sold for. Now, what I'm not going to do is copy where it says look because they use little eyeballs there for the whatever, and I don't think 130 point recognizes that. See, no results found. So we have to go in here and possibly take out the apostrophe. Yeah, it's kind of finicky a little bit, guys. So you gotta make sure that there you go. $70. Good sale on that one. I was afraid that thing would be like $30. That would have been a steal on that. But yeah, almost solid fives. So seven in a row fives. So there you go. That's the fancy serial number report for the week. And thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's been a little while since I had some real video content up. Being at the ANA World's Fair of Money, I only managed to do a few short videos, another video, and then a live event for the Great Off Challenge, which Team Blue Ridge and Team Bargain Hunters Thrift ended up taking home the grand prize for that one. So that's it. That's going to go ahead and do it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the video. I am going to do a Whatnot auction coming up this Friday. I think we might be extending a little bit of the Maui fund again into it. We had such a really good, successful campaign this past Friday. And I was even doing the show from the hotel room, and we ended up donating $750 to the Maui Strong Fund, which is going to go back to helping the communities affected by the wildfires there in the area. So that's going to go ahead and do it. Thank you guys again for all your views and support. Love you guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. We got more coming, and you guys enjoy your Sunday. Take care.